Yeah, so when you was talking about perfectionists, right? I got to share a funny example,
Go
right?
on.
So
I don't know how
after,
funny it'll be to me.
okay, well after we got married, we went straight back to school together, and for me, one of the greatest challenges was the fact that I was somewhat torn from my wife in regards to my studies, right? And she knew that okay, the studies have to come first because she's got to get through. So that was a real challenge for me when it comes to spending and investing the time that was required in with my wife, right? But in regards to the perfectionist thing, okay, so we're in school now and we're in Washington, D.C. And so um, we wake up in the morning and my wife had a habit of that bed got to be made up with not one wrinkle in that bed.
Oh boy.
Am I telling the truth? Okay,
I think you're pushing it a little.
okay. I'm not just talking about the blanket or I'm talking about the bottom sheet, the middle sheet, and the blanket and the pillows. Okay. So one day, you know, I was taking my time to get out of bed, and she wanted me to get out of bed right away. And so here she goes again, fixing, straightening everything. And I called her. Okay, I said to her, "Okay, Mrs. Enoch." And she almost blew a fuse. Like you all know about Enoch. Enoch was perfect right before God.
Translation.
Right? So I said, okay, Mrs. Enoch. And she blew a fuse.
I did not blow up.
And the only thing that saved us.
I was quite hurt.
Right. Okay. A hurting fuse.
What was a fuse?
Okay.
I don't even
Okay.
know that
It was good enough where we lived separately in silence for a few hours.
I don't remember. I don't recall that.
Well, I recall it. But my wife
I
says,
have a bad memory.
what's the saying, babe? Don't let
What?
what's the saying?
Don't let the sun go down on
your
wrath.
wrath, right?
And we've been married for almost 30
Yes.
years, and I can count how many times I have literally,
Yes.
we have literally gone to bed with wrath. And that was not one of those times, so let's move on.
Yes. Yes.
But I do remember that fun
Yes.
incident.
That was fun in hindsight.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a little spicy. That was a little hard.
we can get out.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's cool down a little bit. Let's
Okay.
cool down. Okay. So, what has been the most? Excuse me, hold on.
No problem.
No technical difficulties. Okay. What did you learn about each other during these times?
Well, I learned to appreciate that everything does not have to be the way that I think it should be. I learned to appreciate that, I don't have to be so regimented. I love the fact he was such a balance. I just learned to accept you as being a breath of fresh air to my rigid type of, at first I had, took a while to get there, but I did learn that everyone's different. Everyone's different, and I learned to accept and appreciate the difference and then, like, not to sweat the small stuff. If you don't make up the bed the way I make up the bed, I knew you had a good heart and you were trying to make up the bed. And so, yeah, I may have to come and make it up the way that would put me at peace, but the effort was made. So that made me, that's one of the many lessons I've learned, but there's so many lessons I've learned.
For me, everybody always saw Craig growing up and into his adulthood as somebody who was humble, calm, cool, and collective, and easygoing, and just a good, nice person who couldn't
Perfect.
harm a fly. And what I learned about myself was that, I could be selfish, I could be inconsiderate, and impatient.
Not perfect.
Yes, exactly. And that's what marriage has taught me or revealed to me. And so I have, on many occasions, have had to sit back and go into introspection to study myself as a person. And I think that has made me a better person, and that has given me more insight about myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the same,
Yeah.
there's no one is perfect. And that's what we have learned in these many years and continue to learn that, and continue to grow, that we all can grow to be better. We all have room and to grow, to be better individuals. And just life is easier when we accept each other for who
Yes.
we are,
Yes.
instead of
Indeed.
trying to change.
Yes.
That's a hard thing, trying to change someone. So,
I think the other thing would be is that oftentimes we have a picture of what is ideal in a marriage, and most time, and it's not. It's an incorrect. It's a skewed. It's skewed oftentimes, and so when you do get married, it could be a rude awakening. So that took some adjustment and getting used to.
son, are we losing you?
No.
We're almost done, or we're
A few more questions. Two more questions.
Okay.
Okay. So the next question is, what has been the best part of your marriage so far?
You want to go first?
That's just a great question.
Yeah, it is. You want to go first, or?
The best part, I guess, rediscovering who this woman is year by year, month by month, and day by day. It is a never unending discovery process. And so our marriage is not a boring marriage. It is a marriage where we are constantly getting to know each other and renewing our love in the midst of trials, tribulations, and all that impacts marriages, the good and the bad. And secondary to that would be just as husband and wife, raising our children from babies and watching those personalities develop and seeing each other in our children. That's been the most incredible experience for me.
Yes, and for me, I think the best part, in addition to what hubby has said, is just seeing how God has been so faithful, and how he has been in this union, how he has come through for us, through the good times, through the not so good times, and I notice it's the same for you. Just that has really been the best, and to show God to our children, to experience the goodness of God when we've gone through some really low, tough times, and to see how God restores. To me, that has been and continues to be the best part, along with what you said and your commitment to us and our commitment to us.
Definitely.
To us. Yeah.
Okay, so this next question, I'm not too sure if you already answered this. No.
Okay.
Yeah. But just tell me if you did.
Okay.
What goals have you achieved as a couple?
No.
No, we didn't answer that question.
Good one.
We can go backwards and forward on that, maybe. Backwards and forward. My wife wanted 5 children, right?
Yes, I
Right.
love a big yes. I mourn it right now, not having
Right.
5.
Right. I think we settled for 3, not through a verbal agreement. No, it just happened that way. Maybe
Age and finances.
right. But that was a great achievement. 2 girls and 1 boy, and
That was God.
that was a great achievement. And to see their development,
Yes.
it's just like I'm just I just thank God for having balanced children, and he's thriving. We see the outcome of Christian education and just, like you say, family worship and daily commitment to God.
Yes. The question was, what goals have
Have
we
we
achieved?
achieved?
Yes. What goals have you achieved
Yes.
as a married couple?
Right. And so, I mean, there have been some personal goals, individual, but as a married couple, we have, done some, I would just use one word, investments, made some investments, and in our family, in others, right? We set goals and we've achieved those. Also, ministry is a great part of our union, a great part, and we've had a lot of goals that we've achieved together in ministry, and so I would, just that's a short answer, and because you already said children,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
having you all three of you, investing into
Missionary girls.
missionaries.
Been to a
Yes,
few
we've been.
countries doing missionary work.
Yes, doing ministry and missionary work, and
Stayed
we want to
in
do.
Mexico for a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Mexico for a year, and just different things, and we want to continue reaching more goals.
Okay, so here's the next question. This is a fun question. What book, movie, or song best describes your relationship?
Wow.
Well, it depends on what. I would say, well, this is an old song. Totally devoted to you. That's a song, Totally Devoted to You. I think I forgot. That's a real old one back in my day. What other song? There were some times where, like I say, we had some tough spot, and there's a song that I love, God Restores. God restores, because you're so, at some tough points, but then you see like God just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is
Repeat the
another
question
song?
again.
A song or movie
Oh.
that describes.
Song, movie, or book?
Oh, that song, You're Once, Twice, Three Times a Lady. And that's what it's just, it's constantly being a renewal each day. I've come to the conclusion that this is the lady. And the other, Coming to America, right? Because, right, Eddie Murphy was pursuing, okay, his bride, to be on there. And you get the clashing of two different cultures together. And he came to America, and he was pursuing her. And and I think about my pursuit. I mean, at Oakwood, I was working on the farm, milking cows.
Oakwood is the university we attended,
Right,
the
almost
HBCU.
for the sole purpose of making an income so I could take my wife out and dine her and spend money on her to win her heart. And I think about coming to America, right? I mean, it was funny, it was sad, and it was serious all at the same time, right? Because my pursuit was to win this woman and for her to become my wife.
And you won me.
And I praise the Lord for it, right? So coming to America, trying to find his wife and finding her and pursuing to win her heart.
Okay. So this is the last question.
Finally.
What is the best part of being married in general?
The best part of being married in general.
For me, that is easy. Waking up in the morning with the one that you love. Not waking up by myself. Coming home in the evening to see that beautiful smiling face at the door. Just knowing that she is there. Yeah, that's it.
And for me, the same. Just going to bed at night waking up in the morning, all through the day, having my best friend, my
Oh, that's nice.
my son ain't gonna like this. My lover, my
Tasty, tasty.
advisor, my sometimes it could be my you know how they say your best friend, it could be your worst enemy, but then we could make up. It's just beautiful to have the security and the confidence. But like I always say, no matter what we have, that being under God is what is the best thing for us, for me, in this marriage.
Yeah, I agree. And one
The
more
triangle.
thing, and as a pastor, right, it could be quite rough, okay, in the field of work, right? And so sometimes when you're out there and you are in the trenches of trying to work with people, personalities and attitudes and perceptions and views that people may have of you, but to come home and to be received by a person, a woman with such unconditional love, and to know that I'll never be judged, that I'll never have to worry about, I will never have to worry about my bad moments of being judged by the bad moments in my life, that she will treat me equally, right? And she always knows me from the heart level. That is just the best and the greatest thing for me.
Dita.
What does that mean?
That means the same. I mean, whatever he said, I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right, so, Mommy
Yes.
and Daddy, thank you for answering these questions.
Thanks for asking us,
Yes.
son.
Can I ask you a question, son?
Sure.
Yeah, so what do you think about your mommy and daddy's
Ah.
marriage? What do you think about that?
Perfect.
Well, I think it's a good
Perfect.
marriage. I think you all did a good job of keeping the bad things out of sight. Whatever conflict, whatever problems y'all had in the marriage, I obviously didn't know about it. Because sometimes my mommy would say something to me. We'd look back and she would say something about me about that time, like we had a very rough time back then. And I was like, what rough time? That was the happiest moment of my life. So, yeah, I think y'all did a, good job raising us. And we learned from you, and, we'll apply it to our children, and,
Thank you, son.
that's it,
Remind me to give you a big, juicy kiss when we get off camera.
And we have to do another part. Y'all look out for another part because the young ladies have to give their views too. But thank you guys so much for joining
fun.
us on Banter with Bev, and this is a special edition.
Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Well,
just for you.
Have a good Valentine's Day.
Okay, thank you.